Test, test, test. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Let me know how we sounding. Let me know how we sounding. So yesterday ended up playing out how we expected. Again, like we was talking about, we had GBP bank holiday yesterday, so the GBP pairs kind of ended up ranging for the most part. We see a little bit of action taking place right now. What happened to my chart? I don't know what happened to my chart. There we go. So we might see some action in a little bit. Couple setups from the live yesterday when it's projected. Small setups, but again, the charts didn't really do too much yesterday, but we caught a nice buy on gold as well as NAS100 yesterday. And then I got wicked out if y'all was on the TikTok live. And then last night, price spiked and then did the move I was looking for. I caught the retest. I got wicked out of this trade again, but as you can see, price is kind of choppy right there. So I didn't want to hold that too long. And then we also see GUs ended up retracing. So we got a couple setups we're going to be looking at right here, y'all. Again, as far as today is concerned, we don't have any high impact news either. As far as USD pairs, we do have at 2:30 Canadian news though, so do keep that in mind. And then when markets open later on tonight at 9:30, we do got Australian news. Make sure to like the lives, you hop up in here and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. We just hit 3,800 subscribers. Let's get to 3,850. Just dropped a new video for y'all yesterday. If y'all have not watched that yet, make sure you'll check that out after the live's over. We're about to see what this next 5 and 15 looks like. Let's see what this next 5 and 15 looks like. Yeah, we're going to be looking for sales on GU. We're going to be looking for sales on GU. This is the same GU setup we talked about last week on Thursday. Again, we was looking for buys yesterday, but price failed to hold that level of support. So now we're back in sell territory. So we're going to be looking for sells here if we hold this low as resistance. So we're going to be still looking for possible buys on gold. We're still looking for possible buys on NAS100. But again, we just need a little bit of action. It's like we talked about last week with the market conditions. We still need a little bit of volume to break through these levels to either continue or start these new trends, right? Same thing with NAS100. We had a reversal take place last week. Was looking to see if we was going to break back above that level yesterday, but we see price retracing as well. So we got a lot of charts depending on what they do, especially with the news and stuff. We don't got news tomorrow. We don't got a lot of shit going on. We do got some action Thursday and Friday. So yeah, it's going to be definitely an interesting first 3 days of the week, but we're going to stick to our game plan. And again, that's why it's important not to let winners turn to losers, because again, you have to understand how to read the charts. You got to pay attention to the charts. And that's why, again, if you're in the signal room, we have major and minor TPs, because again, price is not going to always go to the final TP. So I'd rather make some money than be up some money, and then instead of catching a small one for the day, catch a loser, right? What's going on, G? I see you up in here. We sounding good. We sounding good. All right, cool. Again, y'all, like always, you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. When we look at any charts, drop them in the chat. We're about to see what this next 15 looks like. Let's see what this next 15 looks like. If we're looking at GBPUSD, if we can't hold 34.40 as resistance, we could look for possible sells going down to 34.20, possibly back down to the lowest here at 33.94. 33.95. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be picky with these sets. Like I said, a lot of these charts. Oh, we got gold retest here as well. Let's see if gold can hold this level. Again, as far as yesterday, went back and forth between green and red. Ended up closing red. But again, we can see how price is looking today. It's done wicked both levels, the top and bottom. We do have short-term bullish momentum, and I do like this setup here. As a buy setup still. But again, a lot of these charts are just kind of ranging right now. So just gonna wait to see what price does. I'm not even going to trade NAS right now. I'm going to leave NAS be for the day. for right now. So let's see if gold can hold this level right here. So I'm seeing two different things with gold and GU. I'm looking for buys on gold, sells on GU. Usually they correlate and move together, but not all the time. Those just joined the stream. We have not entered anything yet. These are just trade ideas. We have not entered anything yet. Make sure to hit that first link in the description. Join the free Signal, free Telegram. Y'all see on your screens how we did last month and last quarter. Go ahead and hit that first link and check it out for yourselves. So yeah, we're about to see if we can hold this level right here. Right on the smaller time frame, the candlestick they're on currently, we see similar things with market structure wise. I see two completely different things. Even what it did last night, you can see differently. So again, this is why it's important to look at market structure. But I am liking both of these setups here, but I'm kind of looking for a short-term setup right here, especially with the charts looking like how they're looking. We'll see what happens. We did have some volume kicking during New York session yesterday. We'll see what Tuesday is looking like today. I'm liking this for a sell setup. I want to see who can hold this low as resistance. That's what we're watching right now. Yeah, I like GU and gold. GJ still kind of been struggling to hold 199.15 as support. So the game plan's still the same here with GJ. You get a lot of these charts, depending on what side of the coin they land on, is going to determine if we're in an uptrend or downtrend, right? Again, GJ, we're right back consolidating where we was last month. We thought we was going to escape that because, again, we were stuck here chopping literally all July. And then August 1st, we had that news on Friday. We had that reversal just for the next week price to reverse back. And we broke above the level. And then last week we retraced. And as you can see, we're just consolidating right back at this level right here. So again, depending on what price does when volume picks up, you're either going to see the uptrend continue or the downtrend come into play. So it's just a little bit of a waiting game right here, right? So we're going to hold 199.15 to support. We can look for buys going to 199.70. Or if we break below 197 and hold 197.90 as resistance, which we failed to do so last week, then we'll look for sales. So again, that's why I got my buy and sell idea right here, because I don't really care what price does in between these zones. I'm only going to be looking for setups above or below this level right here. So it looks like GU is trying to push down. Try to see if we can hold this level right here. I'm only liking gold and GU right now, but I'm watching to see how they react on these levels. Yeah, I'm still liking gold for buys. We just need volume. I also like sales on GU. What's going on, Hassan? I see you up in here. You love this trends. I appreciate that. It's easy to get trades. That's why we do it. Yeah, we're not stopping anytime soon. We're not stopping anytime soon. We've been doing this for over a year. I think we've been doing it for like 2 years straight now. But yeah, we're not stopping anytime soon. Yeah, so gold rejected that level. So I'm not messing with gold unless it breaks back above this level. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring my alert back down. So yeah, now I'm about to pay attention to GU because I do like this GU setup. Let's see what this next 5 minute looks like. Let's see what this next 5 minute looks like. Again, y'all, if you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. When you look at the charts, drop them in the chat. Just dropped a new video for y'all yesterday. Make sure to check that out after the live is over. Appreciate those that like the live already. But all playlists are up to date. I'm liking this right here. I want to see if we can hold this level as resistance first. But it is trying to push right now as we speak. Do like this right here. What's the reason behind the gold setup? So we're gonna talk about it. So the reason why I went for buys yesterday, and the reason why price also did what it did last night. So this is the buy setup. Me and the members caught, hit TP2, almost hit TP3, got wicked out of that, and then last night I re-entered that, caught a nice one, almost 1 to 2 on that, but I wicked out again. And this is why I got wicked out, because again, price is showing me market structure wise and based on what price did also yesterday, that's kind of struggling to hold this level, right? So again, we look at gold. If y'all have not watched the Sunday chart analysis, again, make sure to watch the Sunday. Where's that? Make sure to watch the Sunday chart analysis. Like I always talk about, it goes over the news and it breaks down the market conditions for the charts, including gold, as well as it goes over not just what I see price doing Sunday night going into Monday, but what I see price doing throughout the entire week, right? So make sure to check that out. But when we look at gold, what we see here is we're in Chop City, right? We're in Chop City. So again, you look to the left, it's going to explain what's happening in the present, what could potentially happen in the future. So we go back into time, right, and we go all the way back to April. This is when we had the initial all-time highs and higher high get made right here, right? All right. And if you got the book or you're in Playmaker University, either or, what is the rules of the uptrend when we pull out the price action and technical analysis playbook? What is the rules of the uptrend? Well, let's pull it up. Let's pull up what the rules of the uptrend is. If I can find the page, here it is. In order for the uptrend to continue, we need to do what? We need to break past the previous high, which gives us a new higher high. We also have to respect the support level. The higher low is resting on. So this was the higher high right here, right? This was the higher high right here. We can clearly see price failed to break that resistance level and turn it into a support. We had a reversal, but then also when price reversed, again, price struggled to continue making lower lows, right? So then price again consolidated, choppy, wicks, came back up to the higher highs, and yet again failed to hold this resistance level and turn it into a support. But then also what happened again, price failed to break past the same support level and make new lower lows. Then we had another month of consolidation just for price to again come back up to the higher highs and then reverse again. And then look what happened again. Price reversed at the same level like last time. And then it reversed back up. And now we see that's what's going on right here, right? So we're technically still bullish, but we just need volume, again, which is what we've been talking about, to break through this higher high, or volume to push us to the downside, right? Because again, we can see price just been consolidating, but on a smaller level, we're bullish, which is why we went for buys yesterday, right? And then also why price did what it did last night, right? But we need volume to not only maintain this low as support, but break through these next levels, right? So that's what's going on with gold right now. And we can see right here, that's kind of chilling and playing on this level, which is why, again, if we can maintain the whole 3370 as support, we can look for buys. Or if we break below 3342, like we was last week, we look for sales, right? So that's what's going on with gold right here. GU, again, we're waiting to see what this next 15 does. I'm looking for possible buys on gold again, and then possible sells on GU NAS100. I'm leaving where it's at. I'm not really trying to catch anything on it right now, to be honest. I'm just going to leave it where it's at. And then again, GJ is in reversal territory as well. We broke this down as well. So y'all just joined the live, rewind like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And we broke down what's going on with GJ as well. All right, so again, we saw our price was all the way down here. And now we see price flip through the script, which is why, again, we don't want to just break out trade. We want to see the price can not just break, but hold as resistance, right? If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. When we're looking at your charts, drop them in the chat. Better see what this next 15 and 5 minute looks like. No problem, no problem. Do I do this on the daily? I identify the trend on the daily. We're not on the daily right now. So again, make sure to check out my trade breakdowns. I got a new trade breakdown dropping later on for y'all this week, but I dropped my recent one on Friday. I'm gonna drop that in the chat right now. But just go to my playlist, go to the trade breakdown playlist, and literally I have over 100 videos of back-to-back-to-back various buys and sell setups. All those setups not only I took, but also the members and students took with me. So I break down the whole process. Right now, we're just simply looking for setups, answering questions, and explaining exactly why I'm looking for the setups I'm looking for. And again, look at that. That went from red to green. Again, this is why you want to wait for price to close and see if it will hold or not, right? This is what I was talking about as well in a TikTok live yesterday, right? Again, there's no news today or tomorrow. And on top of that, it's a Tuesday. Like I always talk about, Monday and Tuesday typically the slowest days of the week. We do have 2:30 Canadian news, but as far as USD news, we don't got that going on. We got about a minute and some change for the next 15 to pop up. Again, y'all make sure to hit that first link in the description. Join the free Signal, free Telegram. Y'all see on your screen how we did last month and last quarter. Go ahead and hit that first link and check it out for yourselves. About to pull it back up as well. We went 3-1 last week, giving us a 75% win rate. The week before that, we went, what was it? 7-0. Yep, 7-0. The week before that, we went 6-0. So we only lost 3 trades so far this month, which is not bad at all. 3 trades is not bad at all. And as far as how we ended July, just like you see on your screen, scroll down to the beginning of August, which is right here. You'll see we went 17-2 last month. It was an 89% win rate. If we go to the beginning of July, you can see how we ended the last quarter. Quarter 2, April we went 16-1, May 19-1, June 17-4, in the quarter 52-6, giving us a 90% win rate, catching a total of 119,274 pips. You go to where it says subscribers, you scroll down to where it says photos, over 1,800 photos, over 3 years worth of receipts. You can see screenshots of signals, screenshots of positions, as well as student results and testimonials. So make sure to click that first link in the description and check all that stuff out. Again, we've been doing this literally since 2022, averaging high 80, high 90% win rates. So let's see what this next 15 looks like. It's about to pop up. Again, this is why we don't break out trade. Imagine if we would have took that sell just because it got juicy, it looked juicy, and pushed past this level. We'd be in unnecessary drawdown right now. And on top of that, risking potentially taking an unnecessary loss. Let's see if gold can hold this level. We're looking to see if we can hold this level right here. Let's see. You're just still in no man's land. And again, there's no rush to take any setups, right? We're up for the month. We're up from last month. We're up for the week so far. There's no reason to get impatient or be in such rush to take a setup that we do something dumb. You know what I'm saying? I do like this right here, so we might go for another entry on this. I ain't gonna lie. Do like this right here. Again, this is a setup we was talking about yesterday. Went for yesterday. If we can hold 33.70 as support, we can look for buys going back up to 33.84. I really don't like anything else right now. We can look for the same NAS setup. If NAS does break back above 23.480, we can look for buys again. I saw online a lot of people going for sells. Again, this is why you don't chase price, but you follow the flow of price. We talked about this in the TikTok live yesterday. Again, a lot of people went for sells yesterday because what do most people do? They trade New York session, they trade NQ New York session. So what do? They chase the flow of price. I mean, they don't follow the flow of price. They chase price. They look for the the patterns. They look for the candlesticks, and they saw what? They saw bearish momentum. So again, if you're in a downtrend, you do want to look for sells. So that's why when New York Open happened, the price came back up to this level, people went for sells. But why did we go for buys? Because again, on the bigger time frame, and also based on what price did literally Friday, we had bullish momentum, which is why during London session we was looking for buys here. Why this level went from resistance back to support and it pushed to the upside. But when it did retrace yesterday, it did fail to maintain and hold that level at support, which is why I'm not really messing with it right now because, again, a lot of these charts are in reversal territory, and depending on what price does with the next levels above and below it, will either continue or begin new trends. And dang, every time I go into teacher mode, we miss something. But we talked about it. There goes gold pushing. This is literally the same setup we went for yesterday with the members. All right, and I can show that as well. I'm not going to show the signal because even though we got wicked out, the trade's still valid as of right now. Again, y'all, if you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. When we look at any charts, drop them in the chat. Gosh, dust my shirt off. Let me show y'all this really quick, though. Just be careful with the signal. All right, here we go. All right. So, obviously, we took a gold buy. We took that under New York session. You can see TP2 got hit. So you got the New York price watches where I went over again, confirming NAS buys. And you see the screenshot right here, letting the NAS is going as projected. Again, did a nice retest, push to the upside. Then you see an update here while showing NAS is still going, but gold is ranging. And then last night, again, I showed them the screenshot, just the same screenshot I showed you in the free signal room, talking about how we got wicked out, but then gold when it did the move we was looking for. Because again, if y'all was in yesterday's live, we said we could hold 33.70 as support. We could look for buys going to 33.84. Price ended up rejecting that level, but again, look what price did. Went from zone to zone, right? Again, that's why we enter and exit off these levels, right? Then you can see, obviously, last night after that spike, price did a retest. And you caught that move. Again, this is why you don't chase price. You follow the flow of price and wait for retest. Because again, how many people you think freaked out and went for buys here after price did this move? Instead of waiting for price to retrace or break above and hold that level as support. Again, it's all about patience. Like I always tell y'all, you're not making or losing any money until you enter buy or sell, right? So again, there's no need to be in a rush to take these setups, right? Just wait for your rules, stick to your rules. The rules are your rules for a reason, right? So again, GU ended up rejecting the level, so we're gonna let it do its thing. Looks like TJ's about to try to do something as well. New 5 minute just popped up. Gold's pushing nicely. I just missed my entry. I'm telling you, price be trolling you sometimes, but hey, markets don't wait for me either. You know what I'm saying? That's why we do this stuff live. But literally that quick, we're doing a 1 minute breakdown and then boom, right? But again, it's doing exactly what I was looking for. Again, did a retest. Again, it broke that level, but where did it close? It closed right back above, which is why again we see price pushing back up. So again, those that just joined the live, I recommend rewinding back 20 minutes because again, we was looking at GU and gold. And again, that's why we wait for the candlestick to close to see if it doesn't just break that level, but hold. Yeah, I want to see GJ wake up this week as well. Gold still pushing. If anyone into that, y'all should be up right now. Again, I missed the fucking entry. It's all good though. I got this move last night, so it's all good. But again, that thing's freaking pumping right now. Again, if we can maintain a whole 3370 as support, we're gonna be looking for buys come back to 3384. That thing's probably about to take out these levels right here. With that kind of stuff. Let's see how this closes. If it can close above here, we might take out this shit right here. Let's see. I want to see us at least close above here. That's a big ass push, man. Make sure to hit that like button, y'all. And again, notice how I said I missed my entry. You didn't hear me say, "Oh, let me try to jump in now. Let me adjust my entry, my stop loss." No, if you missed your entry, you missed your entry, right? Either wait for price to retrace and come back, which price usually does, as we see up here, or just wait for your next entry, which will be above here, right? All right, price closed right here, like we was looking for. Let's see what this next 15-minute does. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, y'all. Y'all see it scrolling at the bottom of y'all screen. Instagram, playmaker_wait. TikTok, _playmaker_wait_. What's going on, Brandy? No, I missed the entry, but it would have been right here. Would have been right here, right? So for those that missed it, rewind. What time is it? Rewind like 20 minutes, right? Because we was looking at gold and GU, right? So rewind 20 minutes. We was looking at gold and GU, and we was looking to see which one would hold. We was looking to see if GU was going to hold as resistance or if gold was going to hold support. So after price was down here, it retraced and closed here. And then when this 15 popped up on the way pushing up, I would have entered. So it would have been literally the exact same entry as the signal in the advanced with signal yesterday. Right. So it would have literally been the exact same entry from the signal yesterday. But I missed this entry. I was breaking down NAS100 literally for like a minute, 2 minutes tops. I came back. Price was at TP2 already. So I'm not in this setup right here. Now, this one I took last night, same thing, right? Price retraced, closed, saw price maintaining holders low at support. Then I got whipped out. So now we're about to see if we can take these highs out right here. But my entry would have been right after this one right here, right? Just like I yesterday did a retest, pushed up. Then you can see here, price didn't hold that support right here. So we got a new 5-minute butterfly. Let me read the rest of your question. When green candles start forming, I passed them top of previous candles. Struggle with that. So again, watch my. I know you'll be watching them, but watch my trade breakdowns, right? And with trading, this is why again you want to go for high probability, high quality setups, right? Because there is perfect entries, but there is no perfect entry, right? Like that's why I'm like, how's a trend and top and bottom tip. Like you don't have to get a perfect entry every single time, right? But this is why we go for high probability, high quality setups, because again, we look at gold. We have bullish momentum. We broke that down earlier in this slide, right? We broke that down. We've been breaking that down all week, right? So we know we have bullish momentum. We know we're in the uptrend. So we know we're looking for buys, right? Then we determine based on our key price levels where exactly we're going to look for buys at, right? And again, we want to enter buys on support levels. Obviously, these don't look like resistance levels no more, but if y'all was here last week, these were resistance levels. Or, if we go back into the free signal room and we go to those goal setups, let me find them. These were support resistance levels, all right? All right, so enter buys of support, sells our resistance, right? So again, we want to see if price can hold that level. So it's literally, again, I use this arrow path for a reason. All the words I use are very specific, and everything I show y'all visibly is for a reason as well. So literally, and again, if you look at the trades we've taken in the past also, right? Try to find it, like right here. All right, price holding level of support. Price put me into drawdown, but when I got taken out of drawdown, you can see how, again, price held a level of support, right? So this is why it's important, again, and this is what we talking about during the TikTok live. So again, make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. We go live at least 3 times a week during New York session, and we go live every day, of course, like we are right now. But that's why we breaking down the TikTok lives, as well as why I be breaking down in the playbook, because you want to not be late to the party, which is why people end up chasing price, because they don't really understand how price moves or understand what price will potentially do next, which is why they wait for their pattern or candlestick to pop up to tell them what price is going to potentially do next, right? Which is again why a lot of people be confused and shit. While I was arguing on the weekend with people on TikTok, talking about it was a gamble and all this other. If y'all didn't see that post on TikTok and Instagram, make sure to check that out. That's just hilarious. But let me go to what I'm trying to show real quick, right? So this is why, again, the playbook's so important, because with the playbook, I'm showing you exactly how price moves to the T, right? Again, in the TikTok lives, we're literally only on one page of the book. But there's a bunch of pages before and after that. So what you need to understand is how price moves, because once you understand how price moves, you'll then be able to tell based on the next candlestick what price is going to potentially do next, not based on the candlestick or the pattern, but based on the rules of price 3 cycles we're in, right? And again, this is why it's also important to back test, because price literally did the same exact thing here that it did a couple hours ago, right? We go to GJ. GJ literally kept on repeating itself over and over again as well, right? We literally see here, same thing, right? So again, this is why you want to go for probably high quality setups, because even if you don't get a perfect entry, if you see price on that level and you go for a buy or sell there, you automatically give yourself a higher likelihood of the trade going in your favor. But again, what made me go for this setup last night and talk about the setup here is because, again, price, again, rewind so I can see this in real time, was a red candlestick, but then it retraced and closed above here. That's showing me that it's maintaining and respecting this low as support. And again, because I understand how price moves, I know if price did that, then if I'm also looking for buys, that means price is most likely going to do this move next, right? Which is why, again, when I sent that screenshot last night when gold did this move, price retraced, and I went for a buy here. Why did I go for a buy here? Because again, I saw price hold this level of support, and because I understand how price moves, I know if price closed and held this level of support, and I'm going for buys, assuming price is going to continue to push up, I know what the next candle is going to look like, right? But again, you have to practice it. You have to review your trades and review the type of setups you go for, right? Because again, price doesn't come up with new tricks. They do the same thing over and over again, but you have to literally pay attention to the charts and market structure. Also review the signals I call, right? Because a lot of signals I call are perfect examples as well of what we're looking for. You literally want to just look for buys. It's like I always show with the arrow, right? You want to see the price break above, hold this support. That's literally what we're looking for. Price to literally do this action. Literally do this action, right? You want to see the price hold the low support. Right, just like price here, rejected, pushed up. Or gold again, price pushed up, boom. Right, so that's literally what we're looking for. Just like yesterday's setup. Right, price pushed up, boom. Right, just like right here, price trace, boom. Right, so that's literally what we're looking for. Literally, but again, you just have to review your trades, study the charts. Like I said, I literally used to stare at the charts for hours. And then that's when I finally started to recognize and understand how price moves. But you have to literally sit down, watch price move, and form candlesticks in real time, and also read the playbook and back test and review your trades. That's the only way you're going to understand truly how price moves, is by seeing it actually play out in real time and reviewing and taking notes. And then, of course, you can't do that after the trade is over. You use bar replay. I'm telling you, bar replay is a game changer. It's literally a game changer. Literally a game changer. You can literally see how price reacts to these levels, and most importantly, how price actually moves in real time. So again, once you understand how price moves, it's like we talk about in the TikTok lives all the time, right? Talk about TikTok lives all the time. There's only 3 cycles price is ever going to be in: uptrend, downtrend. Whoops, that's not I don't know what the fuck that is. Downtrend, consolidation, right? So again, Price can ultimately do only one of two things: go up or go down. It's our job to determine as a day trader what is price going to most likely do. Which one of those two? Okay, these are only three cycles prices ever in. Uptrend go for buys, downtrend go for sells, consolidation, right? So again, once you understand which one of these cycles we're in, once you understand the rules of price and the rules for each of these cycles, then you will literally know what to go for and also all the possible moves price can make next from this point. And again, if you watch the TikTok live, that's what we'll be breaking down during the TikTok lives. But again, you literally just have to watch price. I know sometimes people think it's deeper than what I be talking about, but it's literally like it's literally what I'm saying. That's literally what I'm doing. Right? And again, it's just you just gotta do the repetitions. But it's literally as simple as I'm explaining. But it's just like I talk about, like if you only drove an automatic car, stick shift might look complicated, right? But once you learn how the gears work and the shifts work, you realize it's not that complicated, right? It's the same thing with this. So you just gotta practice. I know that kind of sounds redundant, but it's literally just what it has to be. Like I say all the time, like I put hella hours in to learn and figure this shit out. That's also why I teach it, so y'all don't have. I mean, y'all still gonna have to put hours in, but it just will be a lot easier for y'all because you have someone to actually walk you through it and shit like that. But you got to put time in, right? That's what I be telling people all the time. Like when people hit me up, I'll be like, "Oh, I've been watching videos all week, so I think I'm ready for a live account." I'm like, "No, you're not. 1 week is not enough time. Watching a couple videos on YouTube, that's not shit. You know what I'm saying? You have to actually, like I tell people all the time, like when I was in school and shit, I never studied, I never took notes, none of that shit. But I still was passing classes, no issue. I was literally passing classes and passing tests based on literally what I was just retaining from being in class, either paying attention or just listening and multitasking, right? But with trading, I could not do that shit. Trading was literally one of the very few things in my life where I actually had to put some time and effort in and actually study and take notes, right? And that's saying something for me because I'm not exaggerating. Like I literally never studied or took notes. Literally, like I used to literally skip assignments. I used to do the math and skip assignments and be like, if I get a zero on these next two assignments, or if I don't do this homework, will I still be eligible to do sports? Okay, I can still do sports. All right, fuck it. I'm not going to do the next two homework assignments, right? Like literally, one of my finals senior year, I failed on purpose because I knew I'll still pass the semester average and still be able to graduate, right? So I literally was that type of person. But with trading, you got to put that work in. You got to put that work in. And again, you have to. I know some people got work. You can't really watch the charts, but again, the markers are open 23 hours out the day, 5 days out the week, right? So even if you're not taking a trade, Tokyo session or London session, still watch the charts or, you know, take shadow setups, right? Because you have to understand how the markets move. When you understand how the markets move, you'll be able to know, again, price only does the same. Price only has the same bag of tricks. They come to the park every day with no updated movements or tricks, right? They come and do the same shit over and over again, right? So once you understand all the tricks that price does, it's not really tricks, but I'm just saying that as an example. Once price does something, you automatically know what's most likely going to happen next because again, price can only do one or two things, ultimately go up or go down. These are only 3 cycles price is in. So again, depending on what cycle we're in, it's going to explain what's happening. And also it's going to literally tell you all the potential moves price can make next. Because again, price can only go up or go down, but depending on the cycle, there's only a few ways that can take place and happen. Right. And that's where people come with the pattern and candlestick recognition. But again, that's just one piece to the puzzle. You use that on top of all the other stuff we'll be breaking down. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. We're gonna be on for a little bit longer, y'all. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. When we're looking at your charts, drop them in the chat. Make sure to like the live and subscribe if you're not subscribed already, y'all. We're the best channel and investment channel in the game. We go live literally every single day for free. We do our daily setups analysis, as well as we post weekly videos, weekly trade breakdowns, crypto stock analysis, day trading tips. We just hit 3,800 subscribers. Let's get to 3,850, y'all. But yeah, gold's pushing. Gold's pushing. CST internet turns and hit stop loss, so I struggle with the entry. You talk about gold? Are you talking about gold? So, let's talk about it, right? So, I'm trying to think. Okay, so you didn't do one, so you just trade. Okay. So, one, always, and I know you do, right? But always, one, if you're not a member or student, make sure to watch the Sunday chart analysis. Make sure to watch the live streams, right? But if you're a member or student in Playmaker University or the Advanced Play Signal Room, either or, always make sure to watch the New York price watch list, because just like with the Sunday chart analysis live streams, I'm telling y'all price points to enter and exit at, right? So then from those price points to look for entries and exits at, you said you entered, you said at 6:30 you enter. So was that 9:30 open? 9:30 open. Well, that was a little too early, right? So if you took a buy at 9:30, wait, what? Okay, so a couple things. Again, this is where, I know people swear it's not this simple, but it's literally all goes back to market structure. I promise you, right? So let's rewind gold, right? So if y'all was in the live stream yesterday, you was looking for gold buys. Price failed to hold that level of support. Broke, failed to hold a level of support, which is again why we wait for a break and retest. We don't just breakout trade, because if we would have broke out trade here, and here, we would have took 3 losses for no reason. But also here, again, price did not do the full move we was looking for. So the next part you're saying you caught some of it, but you said you struggle with the entry. Again, you want to wait for price to hold a level at support or resistance, because when you go with the flow of price, and on top of you wait for price to maintain that level of support and then go for buys, or maintain the level of resistance and go for sells, you literally have all that momentum going in your favor. There's a reason why price was choppy here, right? But then when it retested this level, we had this volume kicking, right? Just like right here, choppy, price reversed. Then when we came here, we had that big spike happen, right? And there's also a reason why price reacted the way to his levels here, just like how it reacted the way to his levels here, right? So when you're taking the trade, again, this is why it kind of sucks having a higher win rate, because a lot of time, I'm not talking about you, I'm just talking in general, because a lot of times people think every trade is going to like just fly or surpass all TPs, right? So again, this is why it's important before you take a setup to understand what you're getting yourself into, right? So again, if y'all are late to the party, rewind the live. I highly recommend rewinding the live, because earlier I was answering who was it? Hassan's question, right? And I broke down everything with what was going on with gold and why we're looking for gold buys, right? So before you take a setup, there's a reason why you want to figure out what cycle we're in, because again, the cycle is going to explain what's currently happening, why it's happening, and what's potentially going to happen next. So again, this is why also Sunday chart analysis, beginning of the week, what's the first first thing I talk about every Sunday chart analysis. I go over the news first. Right? The first thing I always talk about is the news. Why? Because the news is also important. Now, again, I don't watch the news. I don't give a fuck about the reports. I don't trade based off the news. None of that shit. Again, I only trade based off the charts and market structure. But at the end of the day, high impact news events can affect the markets, and bank holidays can affect the markets, right? So, like I always talk about as well, every Sunday chart analysis, what I always say, Mondays and Tuesdays are typically the slowest days out the week. Usually, why? Because again, markets are slowly opening up, they're not open yet, and volume slowly coming in, right? Not only was a Monday and Tuesday going to be the slowest days of the week on average, again, not every Monday and Tuesday is a slow day, we're talking about average, but we also had the GBP bank holiday as well as we had no high impact news. So again, we already have a slow Monday on top of no news. And then on top of that, when we look at gold, again, I'm not going to go over it again this live, but just rewind. We explain why it's doing. We're in Chop City. So before I even go to look for a setup, I have to acknowledge the market conditions. It's a Monday. There's no news. And we're looking choppy all last night, right? We also know, again, every time we come to this level, we've really struggled to hold this level. We go to last week, we failed to hold that level of support the past couple of weeks, right? So I know it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for price to come here. It's going to need some volume, which is why, again, you see yesterday, price chill here, only hit TP2, almost hit TP3. But then last night, the volume kicked in and did the move we was looking for, right? So this is also why I have, with the TPs, that's not hold on. The TP, that's why I have major and minor TPs, right? I have the entry, I have the ultimate TP, but I have minor TPs as well, because again, price is not going to always go and hit the final TP. So this is why it's also important to pay attention to the chart, because again, price is always going to give you signs before a reversal or retracement is going to take place, right? And before price retraced, there were signs, right? So once I see those signs, I am going to, like I always say, I don't let winners turn to losers. I don't let winners turn to losers. So from that point, when you see the signs of price struggling to continue to push up in this case, then you have two options, right? You either secure profits or close where price is at, or you take the risk of keep on holding to see if it's going to go further in your favor. But that's when it kind of comes to the gambling aspect of trading, because again, you don't know if price is going to do that until it does it. But what we do know is that price is currently struggling right now and retracing, right? Which is why I got whipped out yesterday, right? So again, you have to, those small ones will add up. Those big wins will come when those big wins come, right? Again, if you go look at the trades we took this month or last month, not every trade was a home run. Not every trade hit every TP or surpassed every TP. But when you go with the flow of price, when that volume does kick in, more times than not, price is going to exceed all TPs and go crazy, right? But again, you have to manage your charts. That's why I don't really like to do that autopilot trading where I just put my SO and my TP in and let price run, because it's not going to be every day that price is going to go and hit the final TP, right? There are going to be some times where it goes halfway or a quarter way. And again, the years me back testing and trading, I reviewed my trades and I came to the conclusion that a lot of these, that's how my win rate is so high as well, because again, I take those 1-to-1s, right? I take the 1-to-2s. I even take the 0.5 Rs, right? I take what the markets give me, because I know when that volume kicks in, the price is going to go, right? Again, this was a trade we took a couple of weeks ago. The initial setup, price struggled to take these highs out, so I got wicked out, right? Because I saw the signs price was struggling to continue to go up. So I made a decision that I didn't want to lose too much that I had. because again, I'd rather not let a winner turn to a loser. I'd rather have a small win than have a small win than a loss, right? Or go, and again, this is why people's trading psychology is fucked up as well, because they'll have something like this happen and then they want to keep holding, and then when price retraces, then they're shitting themselves and getting on their knees and praying and hoping that price doesn't, hit stop loss, it goes back in your favor, right? But again, I got wicked out. And then once I saw price was holding as low as support and maintaining as low as support, that's when I re-entered. And again, when that volume kicked in, you can see it broke these levels with ease. And then that's when the big move came in, right? But again, not every day a big move is going to happen. So you have to make the decision. Are you okay with letting these profits disappear and taking a loss? Or are you okay with taking those small wins, which will add up? And then when the volume does kick in and those big moves do come in, then you take that, right? You literally got to take what the markets give you, right? You got to take what the markets give you. And again, that's just another thing you have to practice and review, right? You got to review every trade. Review write down why you took the setup initially, right? Write down and go over the trade you took. Write down where you exited at, why you exited, whether you got wicked out, whether your stop loss got hit, whether TPs got hit. Write that down. Also write down and review what price did after the setup, right? Write down what price did before the setup. And again, when you start taking these notes and studying the charts, that's when everything will start to fall into place and start to make sense, right? Because again, there's an explanation for everything that's taking place on the markets. The markets are not randomly doing things. It's not fake outs and liquidity sweeps. It's not people stop loss hunting you. There's an actual logical explanation for everything that's taking place on the markets. Again, once you understand how the markets work, that's how I'm able to, again, at the beginning of the week, give these projections out before news even plays out, before the markets even play out, and give accurate analysis on a daily basis to the T. And even longer term when it comes to stocks and crypto, because again, understand how price works. And again, once you understand how price works, there's only a couple things price can do: go up or go down. And depending on the cycle, there's only a few ways that can play out, right? So again, it's literally just repetition and taking notes, right? It's just really repetition and taking notes. But I'm a advocate of, I don't like the break even thing. I don't like my stop loss to break even, but I do move my stop loss of profit and trail my stop loss. Always. Always, always, always. And that's another thing. Like that's what fucks a lot of people up, because you see a lot of posts online where people be hitting these 1 to 4s, 1 to 5s, or they be showing like the TP's always getting hit or surpassed. You also got to understand, one, that's not every one of the trade setups, right? They are those only winners. It's a little bit different over here because again, we literally don't lose that many times. So when I do be reviewing trades or posting trade setups, they're usually winners, because again, we lose literally on average 2 to 4 trades a month, which is not a lot. We literally lose only on average 2 to 4 trades a month, right? So it's a little bit different over here because we're not really clickbaity with this stuff. But you got to realize those are only winner trades that you're seeing online for the most part, right? And another thing on top of that, they're smaller moves. They're smaller moves also. So again, you just have to understand the market's work. And I'm telling you, once you start just paying attention to market structure, the money's going to come. I say it all the time. Like when I stopped worrying about making money and I simply just focus on my setups, market structure, and sticking to my game plan, that's when the money comes, right? So again, our rules are not letting winners turn to losers. My rules are when new higher high, the lower lows are coming into play, I'm going to trail my stop loss to secure profits, right? Because again, you have to close at some point, and it's not going to be every time price is going to hit a couple TPs or trades, then blow through all your stop, blow through all your TPs. That's not going to happen all the time, right? Sometimes it's going to hit a couple TPs, then reverse, right? But then there's other times where it'll hit a couple TPs, retrace, and then fly and explode through all the other TPs, right? But that doesn't happen all the time. And again, that's the difference between gambling and what we do over here is calculated risk, right? We're going for high probability, high quality setups. Everything we're doing is based off logic and probabilities and the likelihood of something happening and not happening. Before we make any decision, we weigh out the pros and cons. And then we also weigh out if we're willing to accept those consequences, both negative and positive. Right, that's it's very, 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 very important. And again, when you have all this stuff laid down, and you got all your I's dotted and T's crossed, all you have left to focus on is market structure, which is again why I don't really link my trading view to my brokers. That way, I can literally keep my mind clear and simply just focus on what's important. You get what I'm saying? Even like when I'm in trades, I'm still looking on trading view. I only go to my broker when I'm taking screenshots or managing my trade. But like when every decision I'm making is based on the charts. Right? And again, like I said, like it's trading is simple. It's not simple at first, but it becomes simple, and it's literally just repetition. It's literally just repetition. All right, I'm telling you, if you put in 2 hours a day minimum, and you're not bullshitting those 2 hours a day, you're taking notes, you're improving, you're correcting your mistakes, and you're instilling those good habits and replacing those bad habits, and you're keeping that discipline in place, you're only going to improve. You're only going to improve. Like I said, back in the day, I cut off all distractions, and all my free time was put onto the charts. Right. And for those that say you're busy, I don't care how busy you are, everybody's got at least 2 to 4 hours of free time a day, minimum. Right. Whether that's you're doom scrolling, you're watching Netflix, playing video games, everybody, no matter how busy you are, has got 2 to 4 hours of free time minimum. Right. If you don't think you do what I did. Again, I was working 2 jobs, 6 days out the week, and I still figured out a way to fucking study up and practice and take trades, right? And how did I do it? I sat my happy ass down. I went into my notes app and I wrote down literally every hour of the day. I wrote down all 24 hours. And then every hour of the day, I wrote down what I was doing. So the time I was at work, I'm at work, obviously. Then there was an hour before work, I got to get ready and head to work. I wrote down literally my shifts while I was working. I wrote down the hour before I had to leave to go to work and get ready. And then all the other hours I was not at work or heading back to the crib or leaving the crib to work, I then had to figure out what I was doing there. And again, when you do that, you realize that, again, you have at least 2 to 4 hours minimum of free time a day. Right. So all my free time that was not at work or taking care of business, I was studying the charts. Right? I stopped playing video games. I stopped watching anime and shows. All my free time, I put towards the charts. Now, I'm not saying you have to go no life mode, but if you really want to learn this shit, you gotta put at least 2 hours a day in it. You gotta put at least 2 hours a day into it. And you gotta take notes. You gotta take notes. Like I write notes every day. I write mental notes and physical notes every day. Like I update my notes. I write notes every day till this day. Till this day. And again, like the goal was talking about, we need to break these highs. We see here prices consolidating right back to these highs. Again, they don't have a crystal ball, no, but because I understand how price works, I'm able to assume and predict what price is most likely going to do next or how it's going to react, right? Because again, price only does the same shit over and over and over again. Let me cut you to the chat because I know I get to rambling, but y'all listen, I be breaking stuff down. Let me see what else we got going on here. If you guys got any questions, drop in the chat. When looking at your charts, drop in the chat. Appreciate those that like the live. Let's see what else we got going on here. It's really hard to let winners run. I literally feel dizzy when my stop loss hit. I can't bear it. Well, you got to do some self-reflecting. Why is that? Right? Again, like I said before, trading and anything in life, there's pros and cons to everything you do. So again, every trade I take, I acknowledge, again, like I just broke down, the conditions we're in. I break down the probability of the setup I'm taking. What's the likelihood of it playing out? What's the likelihood of it not playing out? Right? And then after I determine what's the likelihood of it playing out and not playing out, I then determine, do I want to take a setup? Right? If I want to take a setup here, then I determine my stop loss and TP. And this is one thing you got to understand. Nothing is 100%. You're not going to win every single trade. So get that out your head. You're not going to win every single trade. The goal isn't to win every single trade. The goal is to win more than you lose. The goal is to go over high probability, high quality setups. All right? You want to keep your wins always bigger than your losses. And you want to keep your losses to a minimum and consistent. So if you're saying you can't bear it, it's because of a few reasons. One, you think you're going to win every trade, or you don't like losing. Well, guess what? When it comes to trading, you're going to lose some trades. It is what it is. You either got to accept it or do something else, right? Or two, you're not risking what you're okay with risking. It could be all these things at the same time as well. You're not risking what you're okay with risking. Don't just put a lot size just to put it. Don't just put a lot size because if you catch this many pips or points, you can make X amount of dollars. Your stop loss should be placed where price hits this level or breaks past this level. I was most likely wrong. This is where I need to get out, right? But you should literally only be risking what you're okay with risking. So if you can't handle your stop loss getting hit, understand that losses are part of the game and accept what you're risking, or size down and risk what you're okay with risking. Right? Again, every trade I take, I'm 100% okay with what I'm risking. Right? I'm 100% okay with what I'm risking. And I'm risking exactly, I know exactly how much I'm risking every single trade. I'm okay with how much I'm risking every single trade I take. I know exactly how much I plan to make off each trade, and I'm okay with making that. And again, I have confidence in the setups I take because, again, I'm going for high probability, high quality setups. So I know I have the highest likelihood of this trade going in my favor. But even though I have the highest likelihood of the trade going in my favor, I still make sure that I'm risking, and I'm making sure I'm not everything. So if a loss does happen, it doesn't take half my account away, and all I need is to cancel that win, cancel that loss out. I let the losers run and the closer win. Well, again, your stop loss is your stop loss. You don't. Your stop loss is your stop loss. Like I said, your stop loss should be placed somewhere where price was to break past that level. Like you see here, you're most likely wrong. That's why you get out. Right? So clearly here, what did price do after break past the stop loss? Take the downside. This is why you don't hold your losses. You take that out. Right? Again, if you're closing your wins too early, you don't fully trust your analysis. You're not okay with what you're risking, so you start to lose money. And it can also be that you don't have your charts yet, so you don't know when to close yet, right? And it can also be your risk reward because you have a shitty risk reward to begin with, on top of losing more trades and you're not sticking to your game plan. That could fuck you up as well. So if you're doing all this on a live account, by the way, I recommend you stop and open a demo account because that's just going to fuck you up as well. Doing all this and trying to learn while losing real money. Open up a demo account. Right? I just saw another video. I'm tired of people talking about, oh, demo accounts it's not the same as a live account. It is. It's literally your mindset. It's literally your mindset. Tired of people saying, I'm not saying you're saying that, but I'm tired of people, these influencers online, just saying it. Like literally, these motherfuckers be saying the same shit online. It's getting so irritating, man. And it's like I'm just waiting for everybody else to catch on. Like these motherfuckers be saying the same shit online. It literally be copy and paste. And when you sit back, really think about it, like a lot of the shit don't even make sense that people be talking about. Right. But again, if you're new to trading or right now you're not profitable, go into a demo account. Practice on a demo account. Right. But again, before you should be taking trades and testing on strategy, you need to first understand how the charts work, how to read the charts. Right. Because it doesn't matter what indicator you have, doesn't matter what strategy you have, if you don't understand how to read the charts properly, if you don't have a trading plan, if you're not sticking to that trading plan, and you don't have proper risk management, you're going to continue to struggle. And there's no rush to learning how to trade, right? The markets are going to be here until the apocalypse happens, right? Because these are real markets, these are real currencies, these are real values. So for this to all disappear, the apocalypse would have to happen, right? So again, no rush to be getting into the markets. You need to take your time and learn how the shit works. All right, y'all. If you're serious about learning, click that link in the description and take advantage of the sale. All right, I extended the sale. It ends this month though, so it ends this weekend. But 20% off one-on-one sessions as well as Plymouth University. Use discount code is my time. Right, because again, that's the best way to learn. Right, I always talk about if I want to become a piano player, I want to learn how to play the piano. There's two ways I'm going to learn. I'm either going to learn the hard way, just teach myself, which is going to take a lot longer. I'll make a lot more mistakes. Or I have somebody teach me how to play the piano. I learn from their mistakes. I have a learning curve. I learn a lot quicker, and life becomes easier. Right? There's two ways of learning it. Right? Again, take advantage of that sale, y'all. So again, gold's pumping. So if gold can reach 33.84 and hold that as support, we can look for continued buys going to 3,400. Again, GJ is kind of no man's land, so the game plan's still the same there. Same thing with GU and NAS. Again, there's no news today as far as USD pairs are concerned. We do have Canadian news at 2:30. We'll be live later on today on TikTok, though, so make sure you have your notice on for that. Just dropped a new video for y'all yesterday. Make sure to check that out after the live is over. Shout out to everybody in the live. Shout out to everybody who's been live since the beginning. Shout out to everybody who's been live since you joined. Make sure to hit that first link in the description. Join free Telegram. Again, y'all, make sure you just have this my time for 20% off. You're interested in learning my exact strategy, how to identify these levels, all that good stuff. Y'all know what to do. If you want to contact me directly, you can DM me on Instagram, Telegram, or TikTok, or respond to all messages. Y'all, again, it's just a little bit of a patience game, y'all. Like I always say, first last week of the month are usually the toughest weeks to trade. But again, you just patiently wait for your setups. Your setups will come eventually, and they will play. We'll be back at it same time tomorrow, London session 3 a.m. EST.